welcome to the 19th episode of She Codes by Perfect. I'm Sanmati Goswami, She Codes project lead. Today we have with us very talented Shahir Sheikh. She is an experienced .NET and Angular 8 developer with a demonstrated history of working in the computer software industry, currently working at Citi. She also has the experience of working with Infosys as the senior software engineer. Proficient in the agile working environment with strong problem-solving skills, along with strong communication and networking skills, Shahir has a dynamic personality with extra activities like blogging, fitness, and more. Her colleague says that she takes full ownership of the projects and features she works on, and that she is fully focused on her deliveries. Very smart at communicating with clients and team, yet very soft-spoken and humble person. Please welcome Shahir on She Codes. Hi Shahir, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. So it's lovely to have you on She Codes.
Same here. Thank you. It's an honor for me because I didn't expect this, that I'll get invited for the video interview. So it was quite, surprising as well. So yeah.
So tell us something about yourself, as in your hobbies, what are your passions? And we would also like to know about your learnings and some remarkable experiences that you have had so far as a software engineer.
Okay. So I'm from a small town which is near Pune. So here we just my parents were like, they wanted us to be educated from a good convent school, and they've made sure that we get the best education. And based on that, so that later on we didn't have any engineers from our family. We didn't have anyone to guide us and to tell us that what should be done and what should not be done. What are the career options? Because everybody at that time, they knew, okay, there's a doctor, and then later on the engineer thing came into picture. So they didn't know much, and later on I got into science, and at that time also I was into computer science field, but then I wasn't much interested into computers, or I just was there for the sake of it, honestly. So then I got into an engineering college, and seriously, that's why I said there was nobody to guide us. I didn't even know what IIT, AIEEE exams were, how to get into those, nothing. I didn't give those exams, nothing. So then I went to engineering college. There also I didn't write a code. I was just, I liked studying the theoretical part, but I couldn't even code or do anything of that sort. So yeah, later on things built up, and since I had the theoretical knowledge, so I got placed in Infosys through campus, and then in Infosys training, that was the first time when I wrote my own code. And at that time I realized, okay, now I can code. So I started coding after I got into a company. So yeah, so as you asked about my hobbies also, so I like doing a lot of things. I'm a big time foodie. So I visit places, new places. I review some restaurants as well. Sometimes I write blogs on them, or you can say a food reviewer. And sometimes I play on the guitar. I started learning the guitar nowadays, so it's because of this pandemic I'm getting a lot of time to do all this. And sometimes I'll do the hula hoop thing, and I am a fitness freak, so I love working out. And so I believe that everything should work along with your office work, and it's not like you should have just your office life. And besides that, also I was a member of Toastmasters International, so it's a public speaking platform. So I was a member of that, and that time I came to know that yes, I am pretty much interested in public speaking activities. So I have hosted a lot of corporate level events as well. So yeah, that's a little, I told a lot about me, so yeah.
No, it's really interesting to know about you. It's a very dynamic thing of you, of handling everything, and I think you have really a good sense of having a proper work-life balance, I think. And
Yes, I really do believe in that we should have a work-life balance, especially for a girl. So after marriage, when you have to handle home and everything, so I've got used to this so that I don't have any complaints for anyone later on.
right. So it's very interesting to know about you that you prior to starting your career as a software engineer, you didn't have any plans to start with anything as such. But
Yes.
so having a note of that, so I think you really have had some maybe notable challenges, and in achieving the position you are right now. So,
Yeah.
would you please like to share with us any notable challenge that you have had, and the key factor that that you adopted to sail through such challenges?
Okay. So this is about my very first project when I was in Infosys. So at that time I had a senior. So that time she told me, okay, what are the different, like till that time I didn't know. Okay, there are different environments in which your application has to be deployed. How are you going to proceed? And I was given an SQL query, and it was a production data which had to be modified. So and even understanding the tables and everything was very difficult because it was a very vast application. So yeah, for me it took a lot of time to understand, and even though I took a lot of time, I understood the tables, but I messed up the query, and they trusted me, and they were like, okay, are you sure this is the query that the data has to be modified? I was like, yeah, right. So and it was run on production database, and at that time I realized. So later on, everybody started calling because there was a breakage in the application, and the application just stopped on production. So everybody was so furious. We were running around because because once I sent out the query, I thought, okay, I'll go home. I went home, and when I was on the way, I got a call from my manager saying, "Then what did you do?" So then I had to come back, and then he told me, "See, sir, there's something which is breaking." So then when I looked into it, so there was a minor mistake, and then I realized, okay, yeah. I should actually review things, and of course that was a very initial phase of my life. So yeah, that was one challenge. So then I learned a lesson that we should of course take a good review, ask your seniors, and then review everything, and then let it go into production. So for me that was the most challenging one. Later on things started falling into place, and everything was a learning curve for me, because as I said, I started coding after joining Infosys because I just had the theoretical knowledge. I didn't have any idea about how things work, and when I saw, okay, that my code is like magic. So when I type something, I see it working in front of me. So that was the time when I realized, okay, yes, this is the thing for me. And then I started learning and upskilling myself and putting a lot of efforts, because initially I was very laid back. I was like, okay, I'll do things. So yeah.
Right. So I think so far we can understand that it's very important for a tech professional to have proper ideas of the technicalities, right? And once you code something, once you design a program, you really need to have reviews and any sort of suggestions that our seniors or our project team members are anything that they need to tell us about that, right? So yeah, that was really nice to know about you, the way you have overcome the challenge. So what are the other eventful experiences that you would like to share with us in your profession so far?
It was so after I joined City, it was hardly a month when I joined City, and I was out for a friend's marriage, and I had an accident. So in that, my neck bone got dislocated, and I was not allowed to travel. I had to stay in bed. But at that time, because everything was very new for me, and my career had just started with City, and I just started knowing about the application, and I was going to be assigned some work and all. So at that time, then I realized that besides besides having a knowledge of things, and besides working, so you have to have a different the bonding and the cooperation with your managers, everything, even that is required. So that time I got a good support from my managers, and it went on for like 2-3 months. And this, because they had onboarded me for a very important urgent requirement, and despite that, because I had these challenges, they didn't say a single word for continuous almost 3 months. They were very cooperative. So for 1 month I didn't go to office, and after that I started going. So they didn't pressurize me, and I got a lot of support from them at that time. So that was a very big challenge for me, because I was already in physical pain, and but then yes, they helped me understand, and they were very understanding. So yeah, that was one of the biggest events, life-changing events, I can say, for me. So yeah, there was this thing when I realized that yeah, you need to have a good understanding with your managers, and even if when you are a manager, you need to be in the employees' shoe, and know what they are going through, and understand their plight as well. So yeah, even that was one. And everything was so before City, my Infosys manager was I was in Infosys before City, so he was very chilled, very free, and he was like, okay, I don't mind, you can come whenever you want, you can go whenever you want, I just want you to log in 9 hours and be in the office for 9 hours on an average for a month. And if you're not there, then you can come to me, I'll add extra hours, and then we'll manage that. So he was very chilled out. So at that time, then I understood that, okay, when you give freedom to your employees, so at that time, so I used to complete my work. He was like, okay, do whatever you want. I just don't want any escalations, and you can come, go whenever you want. So yes, but then coming to City, which was because the work culture is very different in City. So it was like everybody will be on the desk for 9 hours or more. So for me, sitting for 9 hours in the initial days of my City was like really painful. So I couldn't sit, and I was like, okay, I'm done with my work. What should I do? So if I used to get up, so people would be like, oh my God, you're done. You're going home. So then I realized, okay, whatever happens, okay, people are having work. This is just my initial phase. So that's why, yeah, you have to work and complete work. You don't get everything like your old manager. So yeah, that was a fun story for me.
Right. I completely understand that, besides having besides having a profession in the technical background, we also need to excel the managerial skills, even though we are not in such a position. But to support a team, whenever we are working with a team, support a team, we really need to have such kind of skills, right? So yeah, it was really interesting to know about it. My next question to you is not exactly a question, but I want you to send a message to the entire women engineer community that you would like to share in relation to your profession, or how they should, initiate the profession, how to go through it, and how to excel in terms of, developing personal skills, professional skills, so that they can achieve a leadership position in their career.
Okay, so the thing is, see, as I said, I was not into coding at all until the last year of my engineering. So when I started coding, so for me, coding is magic. When I type things on my keyboard and I see things working on my screen, so it's like magic. Because the first time when I coded a game, so it was just a game when I had to rotate a wheel and it had to go from certain X point to Y point. So for me, when I saw that, okay, things are working which I want, so that was the biggest motivating thing for me. That time I realized, okay, so I'm imagining things are there in my mind, and I can see, I can just type and see it in front of me. So that was a very motivating thing for me. So what I would advise is just keep coding, and of course nowadays I've also started studying more into that about data structures, algorithms. So I feel that however, how much ever experience do you have, so you don't have to stop learning. Just keep upskilling yourself, because and especially during this pandemic time, when you have time, when you're working from home, you don't have to travel, your commute time is saving. So at that time you can utilize that time. You can go through blogs, like sometimes I even go through systems design blogs, and some I've subscribed to certain newsletters wherein you can know about the latest technologies. And for me nowadays I'm feeling quite inclined towards like how the real world applications are built, how they are scalable. And so there's the site also, highscalability.com, so you can go through like some applications, they are published their papers, not exactly papers, but they have given a brief idea about how scalable their application is and how they are managing the performance. Like you can imagine millions of users active on one platform, and how they are able to handle so many requests and the applications are working smoothly. So that is the curiosity should be there, that you should feel, okay, why, how are things working this way, how like I should be learning, how should I implement this knowledge in my organization, that way. So yes, so and especially for girls, when like for few years they'll be single, and then after few years they'll get married. So there are many other responsibilities like girls have to handle. So first they live a bachelorette life, look after themselves, then look after the family. So during such times you sometimes lose a touch of your knowledge. So that's what I feel, that yeah, you should take out time, you should try to keep a good work-life balance, and never stop learning, like keep exploring. And I feel there are a lot of things to explore, and there are so many things, like there are like yesterday also I read one article related to AI. So there's they have built a t-shirt in which it stops, like there's a 63% chance that you won't get detected in the digital surveillance algorithm. So that was very interesting for me. So then I read about it, and then I thought, okay, I can learn more and study about AI. So it's all about curiosity. It's all about how much you take interest. And internet is almost free for, not free, but it's so vast and it's very cheap for us. So yeah, we can make a good use of it, especially when we are all at home, working at home, and we've got time. So that would be my advice, that don't stop coding, don't stop learning, just keep upskilling yourself, and yeah, keep inspiring other women as well.
Yeah, I think that's one of the captivating message that you have sent to the entire women engineers community. They would love to hear about it. And yeah, this is it. I think it was lovely to have you on She Codes.
Thank you so much. I really feel proud and good that I was invited for this. So it's like a very good thing for me. And yeah, I really loved your website and how you guys manage it and everything, all the articles. So it's very good. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so it was our pleasure to feature you on She Codes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for
Thank you. Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye-bye. Hi viewers, if you liked the episode of Shahir Sheikh, then please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, Perfect. And please keep supporting She Codes. Thank you.